morning are having some oatmeal. Hi, boys.
Hi.
And my breakfast is going to be 2 eggs. I got a pork sausage and a quarter of an avocado and a little bit of salsa. One thing about the salsa is I'm having this Catalina style from Walmart. Is that it is a really good way to add in a whole bunch of flavor for not a lot of carbs. There's 2 grams of carbs in 2 tablespoons here. And so it really jazzes it up. I usually add it to like vegetables, green beans, or something like that for a big wham of flavor and for not much carbs. So, you know, good jar of salsa is all you need. My breakfast really quick. Here this morning I've got some decaf with a little heavy cream and some sugar-free flavoring in there. I've got 1 strip of bacon, a quarter of a small avocado, 2 eggs, which I actually fried in the whatever was left of the bacon. And then I have 1 bit of smoked mozzarella and 1 salami and 1 just like, I think it was about 1.5 ounces of Port Salut cheese. And this is going to be my breakfast this morning. Oh, a lot of fat. And I do have one of these little capsules here, which is super enzymes. And I'm counting on the ox bile in here for supplementation to help me digest it because there's a lot of fat in here and I don't have a gallbladder anymore. So I've noticed when I take this, I have a lot of ease in digestion. It really, really does help. It is Monday morning. I have absolutely no makeup on whatsoever. Just washed my face. I'm about to get started on getting it all together. But I wanted to share something with you, and I never would have gone on camera before and not had any makeup on, but I thought this was kind of important to share with you. You know, I have been doing keto for a little bit now. I'm going on my 2nd month, I believe, of just pretty much straight keto, just a few cheats in there, but you know, not a whole lot. And but for the past 1.5 years or so, almost 2 years actually, it's like I've been really going back and forth with it. I've really been adding a lot of good fats in, a lot of animal fats, you know, and some of the things that I've experienced, I just wanted to look at my skin and I wanted to show that to you. There's a few things. Now, remember, skin is kind of like our outward, what we can see of what's happening to our inward gut, pretty much. You know, we have a rash or we have some sort of thing happening here. We know that something's happening inside of our gut bacteria. So one thing that I've noticed is that now I've had a lot of healing. For the past almost 2 years, I have really included a lot of bone broth in my diet, and that originally had helped me to heal so much. I used to have so many food intolerances, and now that's much easier. I mean, I could eat wheat. I couldn't eat that before. I had to be gluten-free. And I couldn't have dairy at all. Both of those things would give me horrible cramps. Now, something that I had noticed when I was totally plant-based, and I'm, you know, if people want to do that, that's up to you. Some people do rather well on a plant-based 100% diet. I tried. I really wanted to, but my body was just not responding the way that I wanted it to, and I had a lot of problems for my system myself. One of the things that was happening to me when I was having super low fat and I was not having any animal products, any fat, in my opinion, healthy fats, was that now I have the genetic form of high cholesterol, and one of the things that I found out was super low fat whey was actually increasing my cholesterol. There's a reason for that. It's a long story. I have another video that explains all of that. And I'm not a case that is as, you know, unique as you would think. You know, even the genetic form, 1 in 500 people have it, which is not, you know, very small. But anyway, let's talk about my skin a little bit. Okay, so one of the things that I noticed what was happening when I was super low fat was that my cholesterol had increased, the amount I was making, because I wasn't ingesting it. And so it just kind of went crazy. And I started to get underneath my eye a bump right under here. And I remember growing up, I had aunts who had also had the genetic form of high cholesterol, and they were eating all kinds of sweets, and they drank beer, and they had a lot of these other unhealthy carbs, I guess, but they just kind of ate whatever they wanted. And what happened was they would develop all these cholesterol deposits around their eyes, and they were really great big bumps, and it was unsightly, not putting them down. It's just unsightly, and I was afraid that was going to happen to me. And when this first bump showed up, I was just so scared, because I thought, oh no, I'm getting older and here it comes. Another thing that happened was I wasn't having any fat, and I got really scaly under my eyes and all around here. As you can see, that's not what I have now at all. And I was getting super wrinkly, and it just would itch right under my eye, and it got so bad that I started putting coconut oil under my eyes, trying to smooth it out and trying to keep it from happening. And it just would not go away. Of course, I've got the 11s going on up here, which I have to tell you is, you can still see them, but it is a lot smoother than it has been. This is actually, since I've been having a lot of fats, has become, smoother. I don't have any scales. I don't have actually any wrinkles around or under my eyes. They're gone. And the cholesterol deposit that was under my eye is gone as well, because I've been ingesting the good fats, and coming back on the sugars and the carbs. And just my skin is just really feeling clear and very supple. The fats are really nourishing it. And also, so I feel like my gut is doing very well. Another thing that happened when I was super low fat was that, and this is all me, I know not everybody's going to be the same way, but I started getting sick a lot. I mean, and if you go back to my old plant-based, videos, you'll see about every 4 months or so, I got very, very sick. I mean, the colds, just constantly, urinary tract infections, just all kinds of things kept happening. And since I started that bone broth regimen and started moving into this way, for the past almost 2 years, I've only been sick like once a year. I'll get a cold. And so, and it's, it's not even a week, and then I'm better. So, and I haven't been sick for quite a while, and I have 3 children with, who have compromised immune systems as it is. And so, and I'm not getting anything. So, this is all just good news here. And so my body, now one of the things that, I'm dealing with now is I don't have a gallbladder, so I have to take the ox bile enzymes, super enzymes, with my heavy, high-fat keto foods to help digest them. And that's good. I mean, sometimes it seems to help more than other times. And so I'm kind of kicking around maybe doing more of a low carb slash keto, kind of thing on my diet, instead of just keto all the time, just to kind of kick back a little bit on the fat so that I'm more comfortable. But other than that, I just can't argue with the fact that I have gotten so much better, and my skin looks absolutely 100% better than it was doing on a low-fat diet, without the butter and without, what I mean, the more fattier cuts of meat. I still drink cashew milk, but once in a while I have cheese. I don't overdo it on the cheese thing, but I'm not afraid to have a really good aged cheese, you know, or a nice creamy cheese or something like that. I just don't go to town on it because I know that that in itself, you know, can contain sugars and mess with your insulin sometimes. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And now I'm going to get my makeup on. I just thought, you know, I was looking at my skin and I was really surprised at the changes that I was seeing. So anyway, a little bit of my history there. See you in a little bit. Face is on. Time to get the day going. Happy Monday. My breakfast this morning, I have somewhat of a sad looking quarter of an avocado, but it's still going to be good. I've got 2 over easy eggs cooked in a little butter, 1 pork link, and then 2 little small pieces of this coconut egg keto loaf that I made yesterday. And I've got a little coffee here. It had some MCT oil in it and a little heavy cream and sugar-free sweetener. And that is my breakfast. So you might hear banging because they're fixing the roof. But I wanted to let you know, in case you were wondering, just real quick too, about my dental health and how that has changed. During the 4 years that I was like 100% plant-based, and some people will say, oh, you didn't brush your teeth enough, you didn't floss enough, you didn't do it right. Yes, I did it as right as I could, okay? And yet my dentist had ended up, after the first year and a half, about the first year, I started noticing I was having a lot of tooth decay and a lot of teeth trouble. All right, I was having a lot of fruit sugars. I was having a lot of, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, and a lot of carbs, you know, and so what happened was I started getting teeth that were starting to rot from underneath inside, and started having some of the clear looking teeth happen. They put me on a periodontal watch. I had to have special cleanings, you know, several times a year just for that. I had to have the first extraction ever because they said all of a sudden they couldn't save the tooth and it had rotten from the very bottom. Now people will say, oh, you weren't doing it right. Yeah, I was doing it as right as I could, you know, and as right as could be expected, but my teeth were not doing well. My hormones were shot. My hair was falling out. And again, I just told you what happened to my skin and my whole immune system. So, you know, it didn't work for me. And so after this year, about a year of doing the bone broth and adding the good fats and everything, they told me that my teeth were looking great. They were very healthy. My gums, which had been really having a hard time because they bled and everything while I was doing the plant-based, that was all done. They said my gums looked fantastic. They took me off the periodontal watch, and my teeth are very healthy right now. I don't have any problems. My hair, back when I was 100% plant-based, at first, the first year, like for 4 months, I blamed it on going raw vegan because I got a big bald patch right there after that, and it just didn't seem to ever really grow back. It's gone now. I got plenty of hair. I don't have a hard time with my hair growing out at all. It's very thick, and my hairdresser has told me that I have really, really nice thick hair, and it's in very good shape. Even with the bleaching and stuff, she says that it takes it very well because it's so healthy. So I don't have a problem with that. My hormones are doing great. I've discovered that if I eat sugar, I will get the hot flashes. Now, I still do take bioidenticals. I don't take them as often as I used to, but I still do take them. And if I stay away from the sugar and the carbs, I get no hot flashes. The minute I add those in, I'll have a few of those. So it really does help me to stay off of that. But anyway, so that's just how it's all changed my body. And keto and a low carb really does seem to work for me, you know, so just in case there's anybody out there who is kicking this around and they might think about trying it, I don't know if my story helps them or not, but anyway, I thought I would share that. Love you guys a lot. Thanks for hanging in there, and I'll see you later.